fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here today for this week's WIP and Chat. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. WIP, W-I-P, stands for Work in Progress, and this is mine. You are welcome and encouraged to go grab whatever you are working on and work alongside while I chat. Or alternatively, you can treat this as a podcast and just listen while I chat. Today, I am going to be working on my kit Blue from Bella Art Diamonds. So let me zoom into where I'm going to be working and I will be right back. All right, I've got my timer started. I've got my notes ready. So let me just dive into my life update. What's been going on in my regular life? I guess same as last week, not a ton. It's been a little crazy around here. It is festival season, so everybody is having some kind of festival. All the little towns are each having their own little whatever. This week, they're having some kind of blues festivals. So yesterday morning, I thought everything was happening down on the wharf, but there was a band doing a concert just like 4 or 5 doors down from us in a parking lot. My husband thought there was a garage sale or something because there were so many cars parked in front of our house, but no, it was a live band when he went outside to go water the flowers. Also, apparently there's some sort of motorcycle ride or something also as part of it. Or maybe people are just out on their motorcycles enjoying the weather, I don't know, but lots of motorcycles. My microphone does okay at not picking up the road traffic noise, except the motorcycles. It's such a low bassy sound, I guess, that if I try to edit it out, it doesn't work. So when I have weird jump cuts and stuff, that's usually why, because there's some motorcycle driving by and I can't edit it out. But I am liking being downstairs. I feel like there's more natural light, so it's a little easier to see. I'm still trying to get my setup the way I want it. I was going to say perfect, but it doesn't even have to be perfect. Just get it set up where I don't have glare when I'm unboxing stuff. I'm hoping the natural light will help with that, but every time I come to film, it seems like there's a bunch of traffic on the road or a bunch of motorcycles. I'm hoping after festival season is over, maybe it won't be such a big deal. Then I'll just have to worry about snowplows coming by, which probably make a whole lot more noise than motorcycles, so guess I'll find out. I think I have it set up the way that made the most sense, but I don't think it's the most efficient as far as noise and things go, so hubby and I may have to reorganize again a bit. But it let me use my adjustable table a lot more, which I'm actually enjoying, so there's that too. So a festival's going on. What else have I done this week? Oh, hubby and I we got new rugs for our living room and bedroom. We have hardwood floors in the living room, and then the upstairs in the loft where the bedroom is laminate. But I wanted something cozy. I wanted a rug, so when you step out onto the floor, it's not the cold hardwood floor or the cold laminate. I mean, we wear slippers and or socks around the house most of the time anyway, but I just wanted something more, I don't know, plush feeling, I guess. I had to get something low pile for the living room because the couch pulls out, which honestly we just leave out 90% of the time. I love that couch. I'm so glad we got it. It's super comfortable to nap on. Hubby and I find ourselves a lot of the time sitting there, we'll be watching TV, and then we wake up from the nap. Oh, maybe we're tired enough we should go to bed. He's been staying up late to watch the CFL games because they're being played out west, so they don't start here for us until like 10 o'clock at night. Sometimes we stay up and watch the whole thing. Sometimes we just go to bed early. I had trouble sleeping last night. You guys, I think I just heard the train. I almost never hear the train around here. That's kind of crazy. Especially on a weekend when they're having the festival and half of the roads are shut down. That's funny. I'm going to continue with my practice of putting all of the ABs on first, although honestly with Bella Art, it doesn't really seem to matter as much. Their drill sizes just seem a lot more consistent to me for some reason. So we got new rugs. Hubby is loving it because he often gets up in the middle of the night. I like it because now when he's barefoot he goes downstairs to get a drink or whatever, he's not tracking all of the dirt from his feet back into the bed. I had to get after him a couple of times to remember to wipe his feet off before we got the rug, before he got back in the bed, because we'd have like little pieces of dirt and dust in the bed that you could feel at night. Drove me crazy. The rug has helped with that immensely, so that's nice. We also got some shelving to put up in our bedroom. Our nightstands that we have right now are not as big as the ones we used to have. so we didn't have as much room to put stuff on them. So we got a couple of shelves just so I had some shelves that I could put like some picture frames and little tchotchkes on. Still trying to figure out the best way to put a door, some kind of door in up there. We were talking about getting a barn door, a sliding barn door, which is not my favorite thing. I'd much rather have an actual door, but I'd be okay if we at least had that. Right now we just have like a little curtain, which isn't nearly enough. It's nice because it keeps the air from the heat pump on the side that our bed is on, so we're not heating the whole loft and having it just trickle all down the stairs or cooling. And I had somebody last week say that they didn't know what a heat pump is. A heat pump is basically, I don't pretend to know how it works, but it heats in the winter and it cools in the summer. Nobody around here really has central heat. They used to when they had gas or oil furnaces, so they would have people would have big oil tanks to run their oil furnaces, which was like central heat. But oil became so expensive, heating oil became so expensive that people moved to heat pumps. And so a lot of people have torn out their central heat in the oil tank and switched over to heat pumps. Heat pumps are easier. Some people call them mini splits. They're easier to install than a central air and heat system, although people are starting to do that. It's warmer here lately. They don't get as much snow as they used to. At least that's everybody is telling me. When I was talking about the snow last winter, oh, it's been a really mild winter. Really? Doesn't seem like it to me, but for people who've lived here a long time, they say yeah. And it gets hotter in the summer, so people are getting some form of air conditioning. I've even seen people who have actual window air conditioners rather than heat pumps. I don't know how much the heat pumps cost because the ones we have were here when we moved in. So we did call an electrician and get a quote for what we want to do. So hopefully we can get that scheduled pretty soon. We haven't ever gotten a call back from the insulation people though. They told us they would have to look underneath the house to see if where we want them to do the spray foam under the addition is something they can do because they have to have so much clearance, which I'm going to assume they don't, which is probably why they didn't put in the spray foam to begin with when they did the extension. But they haven't called us back to come over and do it, so I don't know for sure. So I guess eventually we'll get around to that. I would at least like them to come and do the insulation in the attic. We know for sure that we need that, and there's a door into the attic, so wouldn't be a big deal for them to run a hose and blow more insulation up there. I also want to get our driveway either more gravel put on it or get some asphalt laid down. Hubby is resisting that procedure, but I'd like to get it done. The driveway is basically just gravel, crushed gravel. Now that the grass is growing, the grass is trying to overtake it, so the little path down to the shed that we had has almost disappeared. Hubby and I also went for a trip this week. We drove up to a town that's near the mountains. We were going to drive into Quebec, but then decided against it. But we stopped in a town that has a fish fountain in it. I showed a picture of it to my nephew, and he was like, oh, cool. And I was like, yeah, it was pretty cool for a fish fountain. Not something I thought I would ever say. Oh, I took a trip to go look at a fish fountain. I mean, it wasn't just for that. We were driving around and looking at all the scenery too. It was really nice. Still can't get over how many trees are here whenever we go out for a drive. And my daughter is waiting for me to send her a picture of a moose or a bear that we see while we're out driving, but no such luck yet. I've been talking to my nephew a lot this week. He's been texting me. He was excited to go see the new Fantastic Four movie. And then he texted me and said something about his mom was crazy. And I said, why is she crazy? She doesn't even know what day it is. She thought all day today it was Thursday and it's only Wednesday. And I said, well, when you get old like her and me, the days start to all kind of run together. And I told him, I said, hubby and I often forget what day it is. Sometimes it's, what day is it? Because he's going to go do something with his dad and that's why we know, or there's a particular show we want to watch on TV, so we know what day it is because of that. But sometimes when you wake up, it's like, what day is it today? Like earlier this week, all day Thursday, I thought it was Friday. And all day Friday, I thought it was Saturday. And all day Saturday, I thought it was Sunday. Which isn't a big deal, but it wasn't like until sometimes late at night I was like, oh no, I forgot to film anything yet. Because I was thinking it was a different day, so I normally film Like if a video comes out on Thursday, then I'll film Wednesday. Well, Wednesday I thought it was Thursday, so he was just flabbergasted that it wasn't just his mom, that other people did that too. Hubby and I were also bickering earlier this morning. He has a love of sauces and it drives me insane. Our refrigerator looks like someone went to the sauce factory and bought every single thing they had. And he never met a bottle of sauce he wouldn't try. So even if it's not something he's had before, he'll buy a whole bottle of it and then it sits in the fridge forever. Well, I liked it. I just don't want to eat it on everything. Well, I don't like having 19,000 bottles of sauce. I swear one of these days I'm going to buy him a sauce refrigerator so all of his sauces can live in that fridge and I have room to actually put things in our fridge. So much real estate gets taken up by them. Of course, he just tells me that he collects sauces. I collect diamond paintings. And to be fair, mine do take up more room, but eventually I use mine up. Eventually. What else did I do this week? I ordered a new sticker cover for my Magic Keyboard that goes with my iPad. The one I got like 4 years ago, and half of it's missing. So I told hubby I wanted to get a new one. So we've been waiting on it to arrive. It was supposed to be here yesterday. And then we got a notice that said they don't know where it is. If I don't get it by Wednesday, to contact them and let them know, and they'll give me a refund. And when we look at the tracking, it's in Canada. It's just not at my house yet. I don't know if it got caught up in some customs thing. It was in with something else, and that something else got hung up, and so now the thing I ordered is hung up too. I may only get through ABs in this section today, depending on how long this whip and chat goes for. So many of you yesterday's video was a kit up of my blue kit, my blue girl kit. This is blue, that one's blue girl. And then the one I'm doing for August is blue swallowtail, so I guess I'm just doing all the blues in July and August. Anyway, several of you commented that I seem to have the kit up process down because that one was really quick. I don't think I have the kit up process down. I think that one was just quick because there wasn't a ton of static and there weren't very many colors. I'll have to wait and see when I kit up Little Baker, which probably won't be before too long. That one has, 84 colors, so that one will probably take a little while longer. I think Blue Girl only had like 38 or something like that. So yeah, it didn't take long at all. I'm actually really looking forward to that one. I was kind of disappointed that none of my fixes for the red lines worked, but then I decided that was actually a good thing. Like I said in that video, if the kit had been squares, I probably wouldn't even have tried to fix anything. I would have just drilled it because the square drills would cover everything up. But since it was a round kit, I was like, well, I don't know if this is going to work, so let me try some of these things. But I'm honestly wondering, even after I drill it, how much is actually going to show. My thought when I was trying to find a fix was to remove all the lines from the whole kit. But I think after looking at it, I probably don't even need to worry about 90% of the lines on there. I also had lots of people saying that Diamond Art Club should make it right. And maybe I didn't make it clear in the video, but they have been giving people refunds and or providing them with a points in lieu of a refund, whatever the customer opts for. I didn't even contact customer service because I want to do the kit regardless of the lines. And also it's content for me, so it's all good. I'll figure something out, even if the lines end up showing more than I think they will. But I don't really think they're going to be a big problem. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. I think it'll be fine. And I've never done a Puffy Gator kit before, so I really want to do one. I also didn't return it for a refund because that kit was a restock. And even if I asked for an exchange, no guarantee that I wouldn't get another kit that had the red lines as well. So I figured I'd just save myself the hassle and keep it. If I could find a quick, easy fix for the lines, then I would do that. Didn't work out that way, so that's okay. That was a lot of diamond painting talk for when I'm supposed to be talking about my regular life. Sometimes it all blurs together, like my days. Okay, what else did I want to talk about for my regular life? Still haven't found a dog. Hubby did find a couple more places. Not really local, but at least close enough that it's not too far of a drive for us to go and see some dogs at some of the local pounds. But the ones they want us to take, the ones they push the hardest, are the ones that are big dogs, like 70 plus pounds. And I just don't think we have the room for that big of a dog. I mean, I wanted a German Shepherd or a Doberman, but realistically, looking at our house, the fenced in part of our yard is not that big. honestly, a Doberman or a German Shepherd could probably jump over it. And I wanted something a little smaller. But of course, those are the dogs that go the fastest. Everybody wants the cute puppies, right? It's the older dogs that have so much trouble. And I'm going to be out of this AB. I didn't have very many to start with. I think I only have like 6 left in the bag now. So they're just going to get sprinkled in here and there. Luckily, they're kind of sprinkled on the canvas in a few places anyway. So I'll just put them in where I can to use them up. And then I will just use the drills that came with the kit. And done. That was the last AB for that color. I think there's another AB that I've used up as well already. But that's okay. That's the point, right? To use them all up. I don't know if I mentioned it previously, but hubby and I also, when I moved my filming stuff down here, we also reorganized the upstairs a bit. So his computer desk is now up there, but I had all of my finishes for this year so far hanging from hangers, kind of displayed on a little stand. And I wanted to get them back in my portfolios because I just didn't want them to get all dusty and yucky. So we found my big TV bag storage, and there's really no place to put it except under our bed. But now that we have the new rug, I wasn't so fussed about doing that, so I filled it all up with all the bigger canvases because like Shaman, Oasis, Literate Dragon, and a few others were going to be too big to fit in my small and medium size portfolios. And of course, when I finish Little Baker, that one's going to be too huge to fit anywhere but in that giant TV bag storage that I have. So since I'm going to be working on that one fairly soon, I thought, well, I just need to get that out and get it organized. So we did that. And I put most of the kits that I've completed so far this year in there. And then when I was putting some of the smaller ones in other storage, I realized that I had some finished ones that I don't have framed yet that I wanted to keep in some of the portfolios that I had forgotten about. So at some point I need to get frames for those and get those hung up. Now that I moved all my filming setup down here, I have a little bit more room on the walls upstairs to hang some things. So at some point I will do that because I do have at least 3 or 4 that I still want to display. One of which is the temperature kit that I did from Craft Pack Canada that has the differences in temperatures. Didn't end up being as different as I would have liked because we didn't move here until November, but that's okay. It's still a nice little keepsake memento type thing, and I want to get it hung up. It's framed, it just isn't hung up, so I need to do that. And now that I moved a bunch of my filming stuff, there's more wall space, so just got to make sure hubby is okay being surrounded by diamond paintings since his desk is up there now too. Oh my gosh, you guys, I usually film in the mornings because it's quieter, but so many people are out on their motorcycles today. It's insane. I'm starting to wonder how good of an idea it was to move down here. The light is better, but the noise is so much more. My neighbor just started up. They have a big diesel truck. He also drives a bus and they have a Jeep, and they are all very noisy. So the bus hasn't been around because it's summer, but when it's back, I may be moving back upstairs. Plus, during the winter, there probably won't be as much light. Although hubby told me we weren't moving my adjustable table again, so guess we'll have to see. Maybe I'll be using a different table up there. Okay, I know I've wandered off topic several times, but that's how my brain is working today. I think that's all I wanted to tell you about my regular life. Again, not a ton going on, just kind of, I guess, same old, same old. Okay, so moving on to diamond painting life, what's been going on? Well, as you can see, I haven't finished this one yet. I have made quite a bit of progress, but I was hoping to be done with her by now, but that's okay. Eventually it'll get done. Hopefully she'll be done by the end of July so I can count her as a July finish because I would really like that, but we'll see. Things are going to be kind of busy this upcoming week. We have 2 different birthday celebrations to go to, so we'll be doing that, which will be fun and I'm looking forward to them. It just cuts into my diamond painting time. I told my husband at some point we need to go. He's got a bunch of stuff he stored at his mom's house that he needs to go through that's been here since he moved to the States when we got married. I told him he probably just needs to get rid of it at this point, but he insists he needs to go through it. I'm sure half of it's going to be electronics, if not all. He was making fun of me because they're already having back to school sales here, even though they don't go back to school until after Labor Day. I guess Walmart has their back to school sales all at the same time, because this would be about the time they started having them in the States. But I'm a big stationery planner person. I love pens. You could drop me off at an office supply store and I'd be a happy camper for many hours just looking at all the things. I'm having a hard time here finding fine point pens. Everything I can find is medium or like 1 millimeter, and I like the fine or super fine, which is like 0.5, 0.5, 0.3, 0.1 if I can find it. Even going someplace like Staples, I've not had any luck. So I was looking through all their school supplies, and of course, all their notebooks were on sale. So, like in the States, I could get 25-cent one subject notebooks, spiral notebooks. Here they were 98 cents, but I'll take it because I got rid of a bunch of them because my kids, of course, my kids aren't in school now, but even when my kids were in college, Mom, do you have a notebook? Mom, do you have a notebook? So I just got in the habit of always keeping paper on hand. And I mean, I use them too. I much prefer to write paper and pen than I do to keep everything digital. I do digital a lot, but if I'm like journaling or something, I want paper and pen. Anyway, I found some 0.5 pens. So I was so happy, so I bought them. And I'm now once again off topic because this is life stuff and has nothing to do with my diamond painting. Okay, so haven't finished blue yet. I kitted up the blue girl like I said. I talked about the red lines. Gosh, I really have just been jumping around, haven't I? So I'm going to be kitting up Little Baker and the blue swallowtail probably this week. For sure kitting up blue swallowtail because that is going to be my floral one for August. So if you're going to do the August DP along, then flowers is the theme. I've got a little picture thing that I made that I will post in the Facebook group just to remind people that it's upcoming. But you can start posting pics anytime you want. If you're kitted up and ready to go and you want to share some pics, feel free. So I will do the blue swallowtail before I do Little Baker. Then several of you are interested to see, said you were interested to know what, because I was talking about doing a survey of my stash and figuring out round versus square, size wise, and all of that. So I did some of it. I haven't finished everything yet. And I keep stuff in my logbook, but I also keep a spreadsheet where I just keep basic information about kits, the date that I ordered them, the date that I received them, the name of them, who I bought them from, the size, if they're round or square, and the price. So I've just kept track of all of those on a spreadsheet. So I went to the spreadsheet and kind of went through it and just kind of counted. Some of them I just know off the top of my head what they are. Like I know my one Jaded Gem Shop is square. I know my one Make Market is round. I know the two Heaven and Earth that I have left are square, that sort of thing. But then there were several that I was like, I have no idea if this one is round or square. So I went back to my little spreadsheets. There's still a couple that I didn't have written down. So I had to go do a little bit of searching through my boxes to figure out if they were round or square. Because some of the kits that I have left are ones that companies sent me for reviews. So I didn't keep as detailed of notes on those as I did the ones that I purchased. So I had to go back and look at a couple of those and be like, I've forgotten, is this round or square? So I counted up all my round and square. I have 40 square drill kits and I have 34 round ones. That 34 round includes the 10 small art dot ones that I got in their set. So it seems fairly even, but I think it's a little more unbalanced than it seems like just by the numbers because 10 of those are, what are they, 35 by 25 something, I think, is the size of them. But I definitely have more squares, so I definitely need to spend more time concentrating on squares. And then even though I hadn't figured them up by square centimeter, I'm still planning to do that. I just haven't done it yet. So basically, I just went through and looking at the size of the kits. I estimated whether I would consider them small, medium, large. Like all 10 of the Art Dot are considered small because they're only 35 by 25. I have one budget diamond painting left that's like 30 by 40, I think. So I would consider that small. And your definitions may vary. That's fine. Whatever you want to do with your stash. And I know some people might not consider that small, but for me, that's small. So I have 14 small. Again, 10 of those are the Art Dot ones. So I really don't have, well, 11 if I count the budget ones. So I really don't have a ton of small ones. Then I have 19 medium ones, which is like this size around like 40 by 50, 50 by 50, 50 by 60. So I have 19 of those. And then large was anything above. So like something that's 60 by 70 or larger. Definitely the size of Little Baker. Those are classified as large. And I have 41 of those. So not only do I need to work on small or square kits, I need to work on large ones because I have 41 of those. And I can, just off the top of my head, of course, Little Baker is large. The Sunken Ship one is large. My mystery one is large. I have 3 or 4 like window ones. Ye Old Christmas Shop, which is a Dreamer Designs, but I have an antique shop window. That's a Diamond Art Club. Those are all big. I have the Dreamer Designs Candy Shop one, which is big. I have a Diamond Painting Shop one, the Sleepy Time one, which I want to get to, which is huge, but I think that one is round. So definitely need to do square and large. So I'm glad that I opened up the Little Baker one because that ticks both of those boxes. So now I need to figure out how I can be doing more large square kits while still making enough content for the channel. Because those larger square kits just take so much time. Even if I do some marathon diamond painting sessions, it's still going to take a while for those paintings to get finished, which isn't a huge deal other than it just means I won't have a lot of varied content if I concentrate on those. So I may have to work really hard on concentrating on working on a big project like that, and then also at the same time having another smaller WIP going so that I do have something I can finish. But eventually I will get to a manageable level in my stash, and once I do that, then I'll probably start buying kits again, which means I'll have some newer stuff to show you guys eventually. Although I gotta admit, I kind of look every week to see if there's anything out there that's a must-have for me, and I see a lot of people talking about new diamond painting companies that are opening. The new companies all seem to have a lot of AI art, which I appreciate, again, because you can't copyright AI art, or a lot of people, it's really inexpensive to make it yourself. But for me, just so much of it looks so much the same. It's the same color schemes, just not all that appealing. Hyper realistic, which means it's not going to look that great as a diamond painting. Really crossing my fingers that Black Friday and Cyber Monday are going to have some kits that I'm just like, oh, gotta have that one. To be fair, I have seen a couple that I was like, oh, that one's kind of cute, but I haven't bought anything yet just because I'm still trying to find that magic number for me to feel comfortable with my stash, and I am apparently not there yet, because every time I look at buying something, I'm like, am I ready to add something to the stash? And so far the answer has been no. I'm also hoping that I can do a couple of kits for the flower DP along. Of course, the blue swallowtail is round, but I do have a diamond dots flower one that is square, and I also have an Oraloa floral one that is square. And it's one I've been meaning to do for quite some time and just have never gotten around to. So if I could finish more than one thing in August to get those finished as part of the floral theme, that would be awesome. So I had a discussion in the comments about whether or not pictures would be considered landscape, and not talking about their orientation, whether they were landscape or portrait, but whether they qualified as a landscape. And now I've had so many motorcycles drive by that I've had to wait for that I've forgotten why I started to ask you that question. There was a question I was going to ask, but now I've completely forgotten it. Because I'm old. Maybe it'll come to me before I end. Who knows? Okay, after another round of motorcycles, I think I know what it was. So I've said before that I don't tend to buy a lot of floral kits. Is there something that you find yourself buying a lot of? Like, I tend to buy a lot of colorful, a lot of fantasy slash cartoony kind of things because I like them to be very colorful. So leave me a comment below and let me know what's your favorite style. Is it gothic? Is it dark? Is it horror? Is it portraits? Is it cartoons? Is it anything with people or anything with animals? I mean, I generally pick a cute animal over a person any day. It depends on the person because I just think skin is very hard to do, to render correctly in diamond painting. There are a couple of companies that do it very well, I think, but not everybody does. So, but I like cute things. So I think that's what I tend to go for. So I'm curious what would you consider your kind of go-to fantasy landscapes? I saw a landscape from Dreamer Designs that I really, really wanted. It was a Christmas one, and the room was all white. There's like a fireplace and a Christmas tree. And the image was absolutely gorgeous, but I was so afraid if it was gappy because most of like the furniture in it was white and of course all the snow and everything because it's a winter scene. And I was like, man, if that doesn't get a good job of rendering, then it's not going to look great. Also, because there were so many different shades of white in it, I was like, how are they going to make it look good in diamond paintings? Are there enough different shades? I don't think there were. I saw somebody complete it, and while it looks okay, it didn't look enough like the original image. I was glad I hadn't bought it. Anyway, yeah, leave me a comment down below and let me know kind of what your go-to, like if you see this, are you going to get it? Or is there some kind of thing that you wish you would have seen in a diamond painting that nobody's made yet? I was just looking at a couple of new companies yesterday, and I saw a couple that could be things that my daughter draws, and I was like, oh man, I should ask her to draw me some things and then turn them into like little mini diamond paintings. I think I'm going to do that. I also want her to draw me some more designs that I can put on some release papers. But first I got to figure out what kits I'm going to be working. Like I think for that little baker kit, I'm going to ask her to make me just like a set of bakery ones. So like a rolling pin, a cake pan, maybe a cupcake. I'll go through the painting and see what's on there and see what I want her to do for me. So I can make them a little bit more personalized. I'm going to need to get like a recipe box to start keeping all of my papers in. I've got them in that little like photo sleeve thing, but I have so many now that it's getting too big. And honestly, there's some of the ones that I bought like on Amazon that I very rarely use, so I could move them out of that into a recipe box and it would be fine. Okay, I think that's it for me today, guys. I just have a couple of colors left to do here. This color that's over here, and then this big section of this color. This is going to be all AB, so we'll see how it turns out. It's this color down here. But I'm really loving this one so far. I've only got 2 more rows to go, and then she'll be finished, and then I can move on to Blue Girl, and I will do that one. And then after I do that one, I will probably move on to Blue Swallowtail, because that is the one, well, I think by the time I finish this one, and I don't know if I'll finish Blue Girl before the end of July, probably not, but we'll see. And then I'll start on the butterfly one, the floral one that I'm doing for August. So yeah, don't forget to leave me a comment down below and let me know what your kind of go-to artist, theme, whatever is, because I'm always curious. Thanks so much for sticking around till the end of the video and this long ramble. I had notes and I tried to keep it together, but I didn't, so sorry. Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.